ladies, gents, and poor little colonists stranded in a lost world. Today we're going to try Rimworld, a game developed by Ludion Studios that is very much well described as Dwarf Fortress Light with a prison architect aesthetic. It is a colony simulator. You have a bunch of dudes and or dudettes that try to survive in a ramshackle colony in a Rimworld. Their ship has broken, or, well, that's like the main story. The ship breaks, they get stranded in a world. You are tasked with surviving. We're going to go with a new colony. This would be the standard strategy, the standard scenario. The crash land, the three of you awaken a courteously sarcophagi, blah blah, you get 3 people, pretty okay amount of stuff. I feel like I don't want to do that. I'm going to go to the scenario editor, because you can start in any crazy way that you might want. This is like the standard way that you'll see in every single series that starts out there. That's good, the way it's going to be. I'm going to go with a randomized seed. I'm going to make a brand new, completely crazy starting scenario, and that's what we're going to try and survive and probably fail miserably because I have no idea what it will be. Let's try, I don't know, how about a pretty appropriate way, utter misery. Okay, this is Toil for the River. Your faction will be a colony. You start with 6 people. Your people will be at most 57 years old. Non-player characters have a 34% chance to start with malnutrition. I don't know what non-player characters are. I guess people that come and assault you or something. You start with a ton of chicken meat, a lot of dog food, dog meat, and a bunch of 49 tortoise eggs. That's great. And the map will have golden improvised turrets, 95. Let's do it. We can do this. Oh no, wait. Yeah, okay, it started. Then you can choose the way that the AI will treat you. This is the standard lady. She just paces your challenges quite nicely. The AI storyteller creative inspired right? Cassandra Classic. Cassandra creates story events on a steadily increasing curve of challenge and tension. Rough. This will be like the standard way to play this guy. But because we're starting with such a horrible handicap, I'm going to go with Phoebe Chillax. She's supposed to be a little bit more relaxed. It's like Cassandra Light. Phoebe gives lots of time between disasters to relax and build your colony. But beware, if she's set at a high challenge scale, she'll hit as hard as anyone. We're going to go with Rough, which is like the mid-time, the mid-range selection of difficulty. And I will not enable this simply because I don't want a save game to be corrupted, and then you're just completely boned. But I will not, like, under no circumstance will anything be reloaded for a more convenient outcome. In any case, this is just like a for show starting colony. I'll show you the colony that I have. I have spent about a little over 30 hours in this game, so I'm not going to say I know what I'm doing, but I am habituated to the game quite nicely. This is the world creation. It really doesn't matter. Let's create a shit world. It really don't matter none, because we're going to pick a place. In this brand new world, you can start each one of these tiny dots. It's a tile for your colony to exist in. You could create a world and never, ever, ever play the entirety of it. It really, truly does not matter. But since we are starting with the awful handicap, I would normally maybe go to a plane or something. I don't really care much. But since we're starting with like 0 items, there is no guarantee that we're going to have steel to begin with. Steel is about the most valuable building material you can have. We want to select a space that will have stone types as steel, hopefully, maybe, somewhere. I don't think that you're guaranteed. I think they're like, they spawn. They have a chance to spawn in the stone, no matter what kind of formation it is. So you can basically select something that is in the north area, and it will be very freaking cold. Something in the south area, very arid. I don't want to complicate my life too much. We're going to go with some hilly territory here. There's limestone, granite, and slate. Slate and granite. Marble. It don't matter. It doesn't really matter too much. It is just an exhibition match, let's say. Let's just go here. Marble and limestone. That's fine. Who cares? It's mountainous. And that means temperate forest. There's plenty of wood to start building. Mountainous mill. There will be lots of mountains for us to defend a little bit easier. I don't remember what this is. Oh, I see. The mode of seeing the map. All right, full. And this will doesn't really do much for you. All right, let's select that side, and we start with six colonists. You get a modicum of customization in the way that you can randomize those colonists, and it will have each and every one will have their own traits. As you can see, if you have played Prison Architect, extremely similar aesthetic, and you know, Prison Architect aesthetic is amazing. So, annoying voice. I love just randomizing through this menu and just checking out all the crazy traits that your guys can have. But, like I said, exhibition match, not going to worry or fret too much about these guys. Creepy breathing, he's a night owl. He's night owl. Yes, he's a night owl. Night owl, lazy, neurotic. Let's just hopefully just get... Okay, he's incapable of none, that is the important part. You want everybody to be able to have dumb labor. Bloodlust and abrasive, no thanks. Green thumb, a brawler, he's incapable of intellectual. I'm okay with this guy. He is going to be the dumb labor. Civil servant called the childhood coma child. This is basically the bonuses that will give it. The backstory will give it bonuses to his skills and make it incapable of certain things. He's unable of intellectual and firefighting. Apparently he's scared of fire. Intellectual and crafting. No thanks. No thanks. Wow, these are all absolutely atrocious people. Prostophobe, slowpoke. She's okay. She's kind of shitty, but she's a good constructor lady, so we're going to go with her. Insulator Disney cooking, like she's like the most useless colonist ever conceived. Basically, I'm just going to scroll until none shows up. But there's some crazy traits that you can have. You can have a bunch of cannibalism and pyromaniac. You probably don't want a pyromaniac guy. And incapable of violent. Wow. These are like the worst people in the universe. I like nudists. That we're going to... you can make a colony all full of nudist people. That is like super hilarious. There's so many possibilities for customizing your starting area and just, sending yourself a bunch of silly. Wow, this lady is extremely... Oh no, see, I thought it's a lady for the haircut, but he is extremely useful. Completely intellectual, beautiful and fast walker. Well, let's just go with this. This is good enough. Let's just start. Get that map generated. And we can hopefully try to build a bunch of places. And we're having all that meat. Let's pause that game. We start with 1 billion pieces of meat that I'm going to unforbid so that they can handle them. A huge pile of eggs that we will very much enjoy. I didn't expect it to be this mountainous. I didn't expect it to be... this is like a literally... Not literally, but almost a Dwarf Fortress level of mountains. If you wanted to just build in and you could have an incredible mountain fortress. It will be pretty badass. The map is scattered with lots of boars, a bear, couple of those guys, and here are all the turrets. These are incredibly valuable stuff that we are starting with, but of course we have basically nothing. So we're going to start by setting a few orders of chopping some wood, or though since we have this incredible mountain, we could just mine our way in, and that will be our rooms for our colonists. I think that sounds like the most important thing that we could do. I am very worried, however. We're going to need some components to be able to make a fridge to conserve all this meat. I believe that is the #1 priority I should have. So, I think I saw some components here. So right away we're going to set the orders to mine these components right here. Because there's none. There's absolutely nothing. So we probably want to get that done. I don't even know if my guys are capable of mining. Let's see. Mine. Everybody has that enabled. For now, I'm just going to simply enable it for all of them. Let's just get them... because this is so dire. We're going to assign high priority. This is basically the worksheet of everybody in your colony. Every task can be prioritized in certain ways. The little burning symbol here, if you go to the dude, you can see that he has a passion for it. He has mild passion. Some other people will have a burning passion for certain tasks, and that's what you want to prioritize for certain workers. For now, though, we are starting on a mining area. We're going to prioritize mining, get those components down there. We're going to get a nice entrance going on here. Get some living space that these colonists can do. Some sleeping in, because that's basically a priority. We start with a few nice prioritized objectives. You need to build a room. Your hunters, they need weapons. You need beds for your colonists. You need treatment for your colonists. Why are you hurt, my friend? The health tab will tell me he has asthma. Okay, this man is probably going to die soon. Anyway, to be able to build beds, we're going to order them to chop some wood right here. The stockpile eventually will be inside, but just so they are able to hold things to places, and so I am able to conserve and have a stockpile going. I'm going to make a stockpile right out here on the outside. It's fine. We can just put it right there. We'll switch around eventually, and then somewhere to carry our trash. Again, we'll probably put it elsewhere eventually, but we can just put it back here. There you go. That's our trash. It's not going to be used very much. There's nobody's idle. Everybody's working. These guys are all mining their brand new starting area. That's where they're going to start sleeping. This lady, Soda, I know is a dude. This Soda man is getting me some components, and that is one of your lifelines. It is. I am kind of worried that we're not going to find more, but you know, there's a lot of mining to be done into this mountain. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that we can mine, and that way we will have all the resources that we require to make our lives manageable and survivable. These components will enable me to create really important stuff such as solar generators, fuel generator that will give me power. Power is extremely important in Rimworld. It will maintain electricity going for, you know, your production stuff that requires electricity, for the refrigeration here in the temperature tab. We can make a cooler eventually. We want to make this cooler pretty soon. And in fact, I am tempted to just create a small area right here, because building wooden structures will be much, much faster than mining our way into the mountain. But so far, though, it's not going too badly. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. I'm going to create a refrigerator in here. There you go. Yeah, it will be eventually. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Although, you know, it's not that much of a big deal to take a little longer, because the priority number one is to make a bunch of beds for them to sleep in. You can, by right-clicking, you can change the material that is made of. And it's 6 people here, so this is going to be super cramped environment. But eventually, we will absolutely make a nice sleeping area for each one of them. We probably will not see it in this starting experience that I am showing you right here. He only just mined the one? No, he mined all 3. Alright, that's good. Let's order some more. Pause a little bit. Get some more components going, because that's, as I said, my lifeline. Just making our way into the mountain. Feels very Dwarf Fortressy. If you have never played that game, you are very much digging into the mountain to have your dwarven brethren. Why are you guys? You guys are consuming raw meat. You really should not be doing that. You guys are not terribly smart, but, you know, I have no other meat to consume, so that is pretty bad. I think another incredibly important priority will be to get a fuel stove going. And there's no steel, so there's no way I can make this until I mine for some steel, which I'm not seeing. There's some compacted steel that is basically what I should have prioritized. I'm sorry, I'm not using the correct menu. There you go. We need to mine that immediately. Get those mined out. If they continue eating raw food, food poisoning is a real thing. It could be really, really bad. So I would rather that didn't happen. So that should have been actually my priority instead of mining in. I could have easily just made a roof outside. It was a mistake of mine. You know, this is a totally new environment for me because I've never played with such a silly way to start. But I do feel it's kind of representative of, like, you're right now seeing your starting needs. You need a bunch of stuff to be able to get going, which is steel. Extremely important. That's why your starting normal scenario will start you out with a whole bunch of steel so that you can build the things that you will need. But everybody now, since they all have very high priority mining, they are very much focusing on that. I don't have that much of a present matter. If you look at this, yeah, I do have a present matter. Not refrigerated. Spoils in 1 day. All this chicken meat. I guess I did do it nicely, prioritizing that cooler. But I guess they're going to just eat raw meat for a little while. For now, we're going to get a fueled generator. There's a lot of wood here that we can use. I feel like I need to prioritize that. That's what goes there. We're going to put through here, going to make a wooden door, and then a cooler. That's because this is yeah, we need to mine. This is actual rock, so we can't put the cooler there. We had to mine this out and then install the cooler on an actual wall, or rather on an empty space. I think that will still work. These are getting all my steel. Let's speed this up. These guys might all die in the first day because this scenario is impossible, right? It's a possibility. It could happen. So I am just trying to hopefully let not all of these guys die a terrible, terrible death of malnutrition. Alright, now that has been mined out, let's make that cooler. There you go. We need more components. 6 components, will it be enough? Yeah, it is enough to build these 2 things. I really should prioritize getting the stuff done, because pretty damn important to get these buildings all ready to go. I'm even tempted to tell them, don't even sleep. How tired are you guys? Needs. Yeah, they do kind of need to rest. Construction have failed because they suck ass at building things. Therefore, he has failed at constructing. They waste a little bit of materials if the construction fails. But there's that. Now we have this. I need to link it through a power conduit. There you go. Actually, it's plugged. There's the blue line is just plugged in. We need the fuel there, and this stuff needs to be hauled. It needs to be hauled right now to a zone. We're going to make a stockpile right here. And now, you know, it gets to the fiddly part. You go into the storage options. There's so much stuff. So many options that because, you know, you need to eventually customize where all your stuff is going to be stored. So here we're going to clear everything, and we're only going to store... We're going to store only food, but with the exception of... I usually accept the packaged survival meal because that doesn't matter, it does not spoil. But in this particular scenario, we don't have that worry right here. He got treated for his asthma. That is okay, that is alright. Please fuel this thing. Let's get one of these fools. We need wood. Oh boy, we need to get some more wood going. This is going to spoil pretty damn soon, so I am a little bit on the urgent side. He's not a plant cutter. Please, not a plant cutter. I don't have no plant cutter. Okay, there you go. Go, cut some wood. We need that. We need that door built so that the way the refrigerator can go in there. You are a moron. You have built a bed instead of prioritizing building the goddamn stupid door. Not equip the wood. Can I maybe? Oh, we need to hold this away. The Sota is just sleeping on the floor. I really can't afford this, you fools. I should just not let them sleep. This is all going to spoil. This is all going to be a complete disaster. And it will just be an example of how badly things can go. While they are asleep, I guess you can't really do much. I guess I can draft them. Wake them up. Please. Please. Go out here. Go out here. Go out here. Undraft. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. I can't even hold this out. All right. Never mind. Let's just let them sleep, I guess. Everybody's hurting. Everybody's probably food poisoned by now. Not really. They are all okay. Scratch scar. They are all okay. Pretty bad to let this spoil. I really hope that does not happen, but it could easily happen. He's gonna need beds. Yeah, this guy's sleeping on the floor. This starting scenario, let's say it's not like the simplest thing I could have possibly picked for myself. Prioritize hauling limestone. Yes, I don't care about your eating. Yeah, I know that you're real hungry. It's very upsetting. Oh, the door's done. Okay, so now we need to prioritize. That's right, that's what we need to do. What are you doing? He's hauling that stuff. We're going to prioritize refueling fuel generator that will put 22 wood into that thing. It will start getting this. We need to configure it for it to, yeah, just to freeze. That's fine. Down to 2 degrees minus Celsius. In Fahrenheit, that is, I believe, 30. I guess I'll let you eat the almost spoiled food. These needs to be prioritized to be hauled into the refrigerator. What are you doing? Limestone chunk to dump in stockpile? No. I need you to haul. Of course, he is not hauling it. And this is where the weird fiddly things that it's totally my fault for not doing it, but it is not entirely, straightforward. You need to go into the settings of the giant stockpile that we created and disallow food. And now this can be prioritized. Haul all that junk. Please, everybody, you all need to wake up and get my meat into refrigeration. All this delicious chicken food is going to go to waste if it doesn't get refrigerated. If you hover over the area, if you see right here in the corner, it will give you the information on the temperature that is going on indoors, 2 degrees Celsius minus. It is raining right now. It is 3 hours. It is 12:14 in the real world. In my world, I have it so that it shows you. I appreciate that a lot because time flies in Rimworld. I love this game, by the way. I have not gone to that far. I love this management game. It is a fantastic game. I am loving every little bit of it. And hopefully I'll survive this little excursion here. We would like to get a fuel stove. It's going to be outside for now. I know that it's terrible, and I should feel terrible. Let's just put it here. Let's just put it somewhere close to that. Even though we're going to rebuild it and put it inside, we're just going to put it right there for now. Thankfully, Merc is readily transporting all of our perishable foods into the fridge. I should just speed this up. And I will create a roof area. We're going to expand the roof so that this is, it's shelter from the rain. Nobody likes cooking in the rain, man. It's awful. When you grill outside in the rain, you don't want to do that. There you go. They have built the beautiful, beautiful roof, and now everybody's idle because there's no more stuff to do. Let's fuel this, which means that they're going to be using the wood to put it there to be able to cook. I will create a bill, and this is how you add some production to your stations. We're going to do until you have X. I like to have a ton of simple meals. I would rather have all of this cooked and just make a good 60 until you have 60. Somebody's just going to be cooking over and over and over. You can prioritize somebody to be cooking who has a burning passion for it. Alexei, he is going to be our cook. And, if you feel like in Merc, you can also get some cooking done. Everything's going to be cut now. I will very, very shortly probably need a whole bunch more steel. So let's just let the time flow. Get these all mined out. We want more rooms into our starting area here. Let's make another big fat room. We need a production area. We need a... this is probably going to be just like the entrance hallway. I will just mine out the whole thing if I were to continue this, because this is like, I'm just showing you what this colony will shape up to be, and just meeting all the requirements. There's going to be all these boars. They can be trained to haul stuff, so it is probably a good idea to tame them instead of murdering them for their meat. The red fox also can be trained to haul, I believe. I don't know exactly. But for now, though, the basics need to be covered. Food, shelter, power pretty soon, and that means getting these cut down. I think we can afford not to have a miner anymore, and we can have... Where is the plant cutting? Plant cut. Only one guy is like ready for it. We're going to deprioritize this guy, though he loves mining, though. Prioritize this man. He's not going to be that much of a miner anymore. We're going to take these two, and then these two are going to enjoy plant cutting a great deal. There you go. We need a bunch of wood. That is why I want it done. And this guy can also do it when there's no mining to be done. He's going to be plant cutting. It is okay. He's a miner. He's a miner. I love having miners all around me. It excites me sexually. So it is great to have those guys around. To speed this up, I don't know exactly what else we can get done. That needs immediate priority. So I think we can finally have a little bit of a breather. These need to be done, though, and that means getting more steel to be able to build it. That means getting... Poor mood. That means that this guy is so upset now. He has very low successions, and he has the optimism of a new colony. But he's uncomfortable. He's in darkness. He ate without a table. He slept on ground. He slept outside. He slept in the cold. He's joy deprived. He has had his sleep disturbed. He ate raw food, and he is in a very ugly environment. Managing the mood of your dudes and the dead is the most important thing. If they are miserable, they have a mental breakdown. If they have a mental breakdown, it can just be a complete disaster. At the very least, it's going to render them unusable for the longest time. Yes, just refuel that. Just do it now. I am guilty of micromanaging a lot when I'm playing this game. I will very, very much just tell them what to do instead of going into the work tab and having people assign and all that stuff. I'm just mostly a micromanaging dude. I just want things done now. Damn it. I want the work to be done immediately. Anyway, we need to work on improving the mood of these fools. And one part of that is making cooked meals. Very damn important. Hauling all this junk. It needs to get out of here. There you go. Now everybody... Mental break. Already we have a mental break of Sota. He's in a daze. He's walking around. He sucks. He hates prosthetics. That means that body parts are unethical. I've not gotten to the part where the game has bionic body parts, but man, I'm excited to have those. And Slowpoke, he's cool. He has really good stats, but he's not a very, very fast worker. He's just methodical. That's what he does. Anyway, this bear, normally he will not attack. I might even tame him so that he will fight for me. You can train enemies to release them at the enemies. Probably should focus on maybe creating some weapons for defending against people. Anyway, when people wander around in a daze, they start just shedding their clothes and just walking around naked. I like that. I think that's a fine thing for things to happen. Now that this is built, everything needs to be taken out of there, please. And we can start prettifying this environment. There isn't much that we can do. We also need a research table. We need to focus on getting some nice production going. Also on prettifying the environment. Pretty damn important. If we enable the beauty gauge, you can see how terribly gross this place looks. It just looks absolutely disgusting. Minus 16 is a lot of beauty being taken out of the place. So we want to prioritize. We need to have people that clean. And, I love a clean environment. I'm going to have so everybody cleans all the time. And, the theory is, it will take the work of everybody to get it clean at the beginning. But then once the environment is mostly clean, you won't spend nearly as much time cleaning and way more time producing shit and being useful. So let's create some cheap wooden floors for our environment. There you go. There you go. This will use quite a lot of wood, but we are working on chopping that down. Let's get some more work orders, and chopping down wood, pretty damn important. We will run out of wood eventually. So eventually we'll be using these limestone chunks to create them into blocks. Let me disable the beauty gauge right here, the display, beauty display. Eventually we'll be creating these, not chopping them down, but chipping them and shaping them into actual stones that we can use to build beautiful walls such as this one. This is a sandstone wall, but you know, our limestone wall will look just like that. And you know, these walls are kind of ugly and they're disgusting, and I want everybody, let's just speed this up again. This is my production area, so let's start making a little furniture here. We're going, not furniture, but a production tab. We're going to create a simple research bench because there's a whole bunch of research to be done. I guess this can just be like there. That's fine. The research tab. This is all the technologies that you can research. There is so much progression to be done, and blah 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 blah. That was just telling me that if I don't have a research bench, you can't research anything, you fool. What is this? This is a lot. Oh, there, the guy in the days is still wandering about. Yes, he is. What an amazing guy he is. This guy's getting busy, all cooking all the good stuff. Oh yeah. But this game, you can kind of have two main objectives. Or I guess three. You can set yourself out a custom objective. I want to have the most amazing ostrich colony and reach 100 ostriches. And that's the thing that you can do. You can just set out to survive. Let's hope that I can make these guys and see how far they go until they all collapse in a terrible, terrible disaster, Dwarf Fortress style. Like, if you play Dwarf Fortress, the fun is seeing just how long can you go without being destroyed by circumstance and your own incompetence, and, you know, caving into a horrible demon spawn of hell. And the third way that you can actually win in this game, you can research your way to building a spaceship and get the hell out of this godforsaken planet. And I do like that how the game has an actual win condition. It's not just brainlessly going through all the tribulations and then dying. I enjoy having something to work for. Anyway, this is like the start of a brand new colony in the mountains with a whole bunch of chicken meat and eggs. By the way, they are fertilized eggs, so they might hatch. They are refrigerated now, they are frozen, so they will not hatch. But we can work on hatching these eggs and then having a whole bunch of tortoises all over the place. That's the thing that can happen. I love all the crazy mechanics in this thing. It's not nearly as insane as Dwarf Fortress. I mean, that game has a decade or more of development behind it. But Rimworld, and in fact, Rimworld is a game that I actually bought a long time ago, the early access before Steam, but now that it's in Steam, is gaining a lot more popularity. And that is why you see it popping up in YouTube a lot. If something gets onto Steam and has some kind of pedigree behind it, it's totally going to get supported through the YouTubes. And, you know, only recently I got really into the game. I felt like it was worthy of... Oh man, this poor guy is cooking without a freaking bench? That is absolutely terrible. I mean, a stool, there you go, a stool for you. Put a stool over there. I would like to get all these wood under control. I would like to have some awesome production. This stove is going to be outdated very, very soon. We're going to need some solar power going on somewhere. We'll end up with a giant array of solar power and maybe some wind turbines out here. Good stuff. Get a nice set of defenses, a defensive perimeter with turrets. We have all of these golden turrets that we can set up eventually. Like right now they're useless because they require power. In fact, I could totally just focus on making all the power happen. You see, starvation is happening. That is bad. Sota, because he is wandering like a moron. What do you want me to do? I can't even feed him with a different guy. Usually you can, but not a guy that is wandering about it. For some reason, that feature, I feel like it should be there. Force feed somebody that is wandering about like a moron. But it's not a feature that exists. If a guy is hurt in a hospital bed, you can feed them that way, but you can't feed them like this. Anyway, this has been the start of a new colony. I kind of like it. I might probably just continue doing it. Let's just do this. Ground mess of doom. There you go. And what I'm going to do now is load the Doomed City. It is what I have spent most of my time in Rimworld. I'm going to show you a colony that is not advanced. It's maybe, I think it's 2 years in. Maybe one winter and 2 summers in, so a year and a half in. Something like that. I recently survived a raid in the doomed colony. The corpses are still on the ground. All of their stuff is on the floor. I still need to take care of this mess. The first thing that you might notice on top of the solar power array is the cemetery. It's pretty big. we bury our enemies. My own colonists, only a few have died. But, you know, if you want to not get the debuff of seeing dead people laying about your colony, you want to bury the corpses. We have killed a few people. Anyway, this is the Doom City. We have a fantastic perimeter set up here with the entrances. Most people, most raids, this is what happens in the regular game. You will get raided by hostile factions. Most of the time, they will just go to the entrance that they can go to hit your colony. Sometimes they'll have sappers. They will destroy your walls and just go in. Sometimes it will be just a bunch of tribespeople with bows and arrows. Sometimes it will be this advanced pirate party that will just shred you with rocket launchers. That was a horrible ordeal. I don't want to ever go back through that. Anyway, got that beautiful perimeter to set up. It's not all done. I need to like make a better entrance here, get a longer entrance so that I can just, this is like the corridor of death, get some more turrets set up. All I have is one because they take a lot of steel, and the steel is kind of running out on this map. There's a few places with steel and components and everything. Got a nice power setup over here. My colonists are pretty cool. Let's take some time to get to know them. Laura Punchalot, she's been a long time with me. She's one of the starry ladies. She has a grand total of 3 fingers. Her right thumb has been destroyed. Her left arm was torn off. I think it was by some bear, some creature that just torn off her arm. She was trying to tame it or something stupid like that. And her right middle finger has been cut off. She's still, you know, she can still shoot with her 3 fingers. She can still, something that is weird to me, manipulation, very poor. Efficiently 30%. That is why she's not like the greatest, but she's up there, man. She's trying her bestest to still be useful. She can still shoot guns. She can still stab people. She actually loves to. If you look at her character sheet, she loves to punch people. She's a brawler. She's also gay. Happens to be gay. That's all right. That's fine with me. So I gave her a fantastic sword and a personal shield, and she just loves to hack people to pieces. I have a ton of crops going on. That is another important thing on the meat that I didn't touch on the starting colony earlier because I had all that meat. So I was like, okay, we're fine with food for now, but you want lots of crops. There was actually the growing season is almost done. It was done recently. So there's all this stuff harvested, needs to be all stockpiled. There's my refrigerator with 2 coolers. For some reason, I still have this very outdated fuel stove. Which is nice when there's like a, you know, weird, like a 2-day long eclipse or something like that. So I have all the crops, so some medicine has been harvested, needs to be all stockpiled. Some hydroponics going on here, building some medicine. I was in dire straits for the longest time with no medicine, things, so many infections going on. I got lucky, didn't lose anybody to infection. There's some devil strand planted here for some well-tailored clothing that you can make with devil strand. It's a mushroom that you harvest and then you use it to make clothing. These guys are from the pirate party. They are capturees. They are my prisoners, and I'm going, the main way to get new colonists is to capture the people that attack you, and you put them in jail, and then you talk them into joining back into you. You have the prisoner tab here. I have them both with friendly chat. We're getting the recruitment difficulty, 87%. This guy is very difficult to capture, to recruit. This guy, not so much. He'll totally get captured. Oh, I guess it's a she. I believe it's a she character. Yeah, female grenadier. But they were really good stats, so I was like, man, I want these guys in my team. Punchalot, ultra fat. She loves to cook. She is a hard worker. She's a night owl. Fantastic story. My wife just loves to hear about their story. I don't know why. She's just so fascinated. Punchalot loved to hit on ultra fat. Ultra fat rebuffed her a lot. So she just moved on to Clammy. And now Clammy doesn't like her. She's not gay. She's not going to go into Punchalot's sheets. But now Ultrafat is hitting on Punchalot a lot. But Punchlite is not interested in Ultrafat anymore. It's just such a horrible soap opera going on here. Then we have Anwash. She is, I think, my top shooter. And then Trudy, the old windbag, she joined earlier. She was an 80-year-old refugee, but she was an amazing doctor, so I kept her around. She also is my main researcher. Then we have Meatbag, my only dude. That he's basically a brawler, I believe, but he's also good with grenades and everything. And then Noseless. She is beautiful. And we recruited her not too long ago. She's a beautiful medieval slave as a childhood. But she's a badass at construction. But, you know, when I captured her before that happened, her nose got torn off. So she's still beautiful somehow. I mean, noseless people can be beautiful. Don't judge them. So that is my set of colonists. They have survived extreme hardship. Everybody has their work all cut out for them. It is quite the thing. And I think my next thing that I wanted to do, I forget exactly. We want to get more turrets going on. I'm basically just showing you. I'm not even trying to make it into a thing that is ongoing. We have a billiard table like a common room. A lot of people like to break up their buildings. I do like better to build off of existing buildings and make like a big ass super house. Here is the hospital. Lots of blood on the floor. This was used very recently. So yeah, it has not been cleaned yet. Everybody has their own room. Here is an unknown bed, but another unknown bed. Here's Punchalot, where she sleeps. Clammy sleeps there. Unwashed sleeps there. Everything has been beautified. We have quite the array of beautiful rooms. This one is just absolutely beautiful. There's some sculptures that have been done. If you look at the sculptures, this is something that tickles my fancy a lot. You got the information of the sculpture. It gives you a randomized description of the sculpture. I appreciated that a lot in Dwarf Fortress, and I appreciate it a lot here. Person-sized piece of material sculpted into an artistic form. On this sculpture is an illustration of Laura Punchalot Dyke practicing rescue with a Labrador Retriever as others look on. The Labrador Retriever is represented as a pile of power tools. Very creative. Three hypnotists stand at the left part of the image, while the work suggests the concept of suffering. This article tells the story of the training of the Labrador Retriever on the 6th of winter. Vivian. She was Ultrafat's dog. I believe she's still heartbroken. Oh, it actually wore off very recently then. That's cool. She was heartbroken about losing her dog. We had to release. It was either the dog or my colonists. I had to release her to attack the attackers. There was nothing I could do. My last pet, I believe, is Ozzy right here. It is our family cat. And then I have... Wild Boar was tamed very recently. And then I have a family of alpacas here, just waiting for their wool to grow so I can shave it off and we can have some nice wool. Also, you know, there are some that will breed together. Breeding together happens. Hopefully these two will breed together and make a brand new alpaca for me to have, to slaughter. So I can have more meat. So yeah, this is 2 years in, almost, into Rimworld. It has progressed. There's been some near-death moments. It has been really tough at times. But we are still progressing. We have so many clothes here. So much stuff to sell to the caravan that shows up. Sometimes you get caravans to sell. And I am touching upon a lot of little things because there's a lot of stuff to go through in this Rimworld. There is caravans to trade. All the crops, you can have different crops in all the different areas. You can plant a whole bunch of different things that will do different stuff. I have yet to plant hops that will make beer with the distillery, and that would make my people, drunken stupor is pretty bad, but it also makes people happy, and happiness in this game is extremely important. Everybody right now is in a pretty good mood, especially her. She loves sowing plants. It just gives her joy. So it's all good. Everybody's okay, but boy, has there been some really close calls in this game. And I believe that's about everything I wanted to show you. I didn't want to progress. Like, this is my real colony progress. I didn't want to ruin it in a video. You can continue passing the time. They're planting the hydroponics, so that hydroponic things with these sun lamps, they will grow very fast indoors. This is basically my medicine. During the night, what happens? Oh, what's happening? There's a solar flare. That is very upsetting. A solar flare has begun. The intensive radiation will shut down all electric devices. It should pass in about a day. Random things happen. That is Cassandra being a jackass to me. And random things will happen. You have to deal with it. That is basically how the game challenges you. You can disable it completely and just focus on base building. You can make it a living hell. Just have lots of bad things happening all the time. It is completely up to you. I appreciate that a lot. There's so much customization. And now that there is a Steam, there's Steam Workshop. And there's so many mods for this game. It's just unreal. I mean, if you start touching up on the mods, you will have to make a 2-3 hour video just to cover the surface of it. So that's about it. This is Rimworld. I have been very much tempted to start a series on the channel. I don't know if you would like to see that. Do let me know if you would really like to see that happening. A group of travelers from Honest is passing by, so maybe they will want to trade with me. Where are they? We can actually zoom on them. There you go. They're just travelers. I believe there's a mod where you can actually recruit these guys, but they're just travelers. I don't know what the function of these guys is. It's just they show up, they eat your food, and they leave, pretty much. So not terribly enthused about them. I use a lot of electricity, if you can see, in this colony. Maybe not the greatest idea I ever had. Possibly I should have left a bunch of torches instead of regular lamps. But I like the pretty lamps. I don't care about no torches. So, you know, that's the price to pay. I really need to expand my solar power array and even more turbines so I can get my batteries all the way to full capacity. These are the batteries that will store power that's not used, so that later you can use it during the night and all that good stuff. This is a horrible attack that I suffered, by the way. The centipede showed up with some scythers. They are synthetic enemies that showed up. Almost lost all my guys for this. The hospital was in full capacity, let's say it that way. Terrible things, terrible memories that I have in this place. Here's Punchalot just making some stone to just store it over there. You can sell it. You can make walls out of it. It's cool. Anyway, that has been Rimworld. Let me know what you think about it. I love hearing about your impressions on games that are not kind of in the vein of what I usually do in this channel. And I'm enjoying it a lot. I would recommend it very much. And right now it's early access on Steam. I feel it's not feature complete, definitely not feature complete, but not a single bug has happened. They patched this, every patch introduces something and then they hot fix it and all that good stuff. But all the time that I've been playing, and I have 35 hours or so on the game right now, not a single bug, not a one. So I very much recommend that for you. If you're interested, go ahead and play this game. You will not regret it. It has so many features already. It can only get better. It's already amazing. It's gonna get better. I am loving it so far. Pick it up if you feel like it. And I'll see you in the next episode of whatever the hell I try to play next time. Until then, always try to keep your cool in a hostile environment.